Shalom and Bruchim Habayim. Welcome to the 70 Facebooks of the Torah. I'm Jesse Olitsky. I'm rabbinic intern at the Orangetown Jewish Center. The Midrash in Bamidbar Rabbah teaches us that there are Shivim Panim La Torah, that there are 70 faces to the Torah, meaning that there is a variety of interpretations and explanations to our text, to our Torah, to our Bible. And that's the reason why again and again we're told to reread it and reread it. And at the end of the year at Simchat Torah, we roll the scroll back and we read it again, because every time we look at it, there's another explanation, another understanding that we can get from the text. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here with 70 Facebooks of the Torah. Play on words, that this is an online, interactive discussion of the week's Torah portion, the Parshat HaShavua. And I look forward to participating in this learning with you. So our first Parsha is Parshat BeShallach, where we have the crossing of the Sea of Reeds, of the Yam Suf. And the Parsha starts off with a very interesting idea as the people, as Bnei Yisrael, begin to gather their belongings to cross the sea, to exit from Egypt, to go from slavery to freedom. The text tells us that the Israelites went up armed out of the land of Egypt. They gathered all of their things, the gold and the silver that they took from the Egyptians. But in verse 19, chapter 13, verse 19 of the book of Shemot, of the book of Exodus, it says that Moses took with him the bones of Joseph, who had exacted an oath from the children of Israel, saying, God will be sure to take notice of you. Then you shall carry up my bones from here with you. And now this is the first time we hear of Joseph really in the book of Exodus. Remember that way back at the beginning of the book of Exodus, we heard that a new Pharaoh comes along that doesn't know Joseph and that's threatened by the Israeli people. But we don't hear about the relationship between the narrative in the book of Genesis and what happens here in the book of Exodus until this point. The book of Genesis, if we turn back to the end of chapter 50, the end of the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 24, Joseph says, I'm about to die. And he tells his brothers, God will surely take notice of you, this exact same quote, and bring you up from this land to the land that he promised on oath to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. So Joseph made the sons of Israel swear, saying, when God has taken notice of you, you shall carry up my bones from here. Years later, hundreds of years later, generations later, Moses does exactly just that. It's an interesting idea that we skip over, that the people are gathering their belongings. They're ready to finally be free, to become a people, Am Yisrael. And Moses, what's he concerned about after all these plagues, after going back to Pharaoh again and again and being told, no, the people can't be let go. Pharaoh's heart is hardened. Moses remembers to take Joseph's bones with him. What do you think those bones represent? Why is Moses taking those bones with him? To me, Moses is taking the history of the people, all that came before them, all that made them who they are, with them as they begin this new stage in their lives. That the good and the bad, all of it, all your history, that's who makes you who you are. And that's what Moses recognizes and remembers, that Joseph is just as much a part of the Israelites as everything that happened to them when they were enslaved in Egypt. Moses is taking that history with him, for better or for worse, as they become a free people. What do you think the bones of Joseph represent?